1, 2. Okay, so I won't. We won't go to Moy Fa Kuen because we want to save the knees. We save the knees. I'm just thinking of my knees. I'm not worried about your knees. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So Peggy, go over here, then you don't have to bump into the pole. Okay, we're gonna do second form. Hey Jonathan, you wanna come in here? Larry? Hey David. Hey David, over there. Okay. So how was rehearsal yesterday? Okay, good. Okay. Yeah. All right, ready? Second form. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. Sliding step. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick. Phoenix eye. Chun kill. Sliding step. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change directions. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Thrust. Close. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. No, you want to come over in this front corner? This room there. Because we can get rid of this. We can get rid of this. We can push this into the back.
Thank you.
Just get that through. Then you can fix this wall. Close it up. And you got all that space. I think we should pull that up. Are we using that camera?
I think I'm not seeing it, so no one's using it.
Yeah, you can flip. Yeah. Almost. We got another 6 inches there. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. You haven't been bending your knees, huh? Okay. All right. Third form. Okay, ready? Three, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sweep, sweep, sweep. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, hop. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and close. So we spent a little time last week on this form, but we can move on to the fourth form, right? So, I mean, you want to lead it? Okay. As long as you can move in here, yeah. All right, ready? Eyes staring straight ahead. Salute. 1, 2, 3, and close. Okay. 1, pivot, open. 2, 1, 2, 3, wrist block, thrust, parallel. Back to center. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Close. 1, 2. Oh, chopping hand. I'm following her. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Thrust, thrust, thrust. Lift, back, cross. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Straighten, step. Double block, thrust. 1, 2. 1, 2. Turn. Turn. Open. 1, 2. Change directions. Scoop. Uppercut. Remove. Punch, punch. Turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, sliding step punch. Step up. 1, 2, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Middle 1, 2, 3. Punches. Boom, boom, boom. Corner back fist. Step up, chun kyo. Sliding step punch. Step through elbow. Thrust. Back fist. Cutting hand. Palm. Turn. Jump. Back fist. Sliding step. Step up. Double back fist. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Sweep. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Sliding step punch. Close. Okay, good. Deep breathing. Okay, we're moving on. Gung Kuen, fifth form. Ready? Begin. Salute and close. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and a half. open 3 times. 1, 2, and it's parallel to your shoulders. 3, lift up, grab, and push. Lift up, grab, and push. Grab, and push. Wrist block, thrust, sink, cross, open, cross, cut, cover, back fist, close, step. 1, 2, kick, trapping hand, middle block, pivot 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, high, chop, middle, cut, palm, elbow, thrust, cut. 1, 2, pull your elbow back to here. Yeah. 1, 2. Don't relax the fist side. Ready? Step. 1, 2, 3, trap, middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, lift, diagonal strike, middle, cut, palm, elbow, thrust, sink. 1, 2, 3, step, dragon. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, divert, dragon, cross behind. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, open, push, set it up, hook, uppercut, corners, pao jiang or bao jiang, elbow, 4 elbows, stomp, turn, cutting hand, push out, close. Okay, step. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, up, sweep, turn, work your left sides. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, sliding step punch, elbow, roll, back fist, diagonal strike, butterfly, push, set it up, chun kill. Okay, let's continue, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Water punch, high block, sliding step palm, high block, sliding step palm, step up, press, trap, sink, lift. 1, punch. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, cut, big, grab, punch, cut, big, grab, punch, butterfly, butterfly, and 3-star continuous punch, big, black tiger, sliding step, punch, and close. Okay, good. All right, deep breathing. So just when we punch here, this is lower, it's not up here. So this turning is waist high. So, okay, so just for, you know. A lot of times I make corrections, I make a group correction for everyone, even though you may not be doing it up here. It's just for in general. And you know, some people wonder why I don't make direct criticisms to or point out people generally. Mainly because a lot of people are self-conscious, and you know this from people that will perform and not perform. And you know, people get self-conscious. Why? Because when they're in front of a crowd, or they're, you know, maybe addressed in a direct way, then it seems like all the eyes are on that person. And what happens is, you know, that's one of the reasons why people are self-conscious, because they don't like to be judged. And when people are judged, sometimes it becomes too personal.
I'm used to it now, so you can help me anytime you want.
So,
I learn a lot when you do it.
so that's really depends on the individual. But when you progress to a certain level, then you know you're able to, you know, you tolerate the criticism because you want to learn like yourself. But I remember when my daughter was competing in the beginning, and you know, she would do everything, go out, do the performances, and then one day she just said, "No, Dad, I'm not doing it anymore." I said, "Why not?" She realized at that point, I think she was probably about 9 years old, maybe 8. She said, she realized people are watching. So you see how when kids are little, they really don't, you know, they're just out there, they're running around. They don't, you know, they don't really care about anything but what they're doing in their own space. But once they get, you know, the inkling that people are looking at them, then they say, "Oh," and then what comes into play? Your self-consciousness and the fact that they're going to be judged. So it's just a personal thing. When will people be comfortable being judged? When you know you're going to learn something, maybe, and then the other thing is your confidence, your level of, confidence really has increased because of understanding. So once you understand more of it, then you're able to take more. My teacher used to say, your skin gets thicker, you know, because you can take, you know. I mean, you practice for 30 years and you say, well, yeah, I must be doing it right. And then you go into some place and the guy says, "Well, that's all wrong." Not many people about to, you know, take that criticism, especially if you did another discipline, right? Yeah, so it's just kind of how it is. So when we do this punch, turn. Now, one of the things is when we do a movement in this direction, we want to go in the other direction. We want to leave the body here. So that means your waist is round up and you unwaist and unleash it, sort of like a spring. You know, you curl up the spring and then it unwinds. You curl up the spring, unwinds. So when you tie your body into your movement, that's what's happening. You know, your legs are like that. You load your legs and then you release it. You load your legs. Your body is loaded up and then you release it. So when your body starts to, you know, become part of that motion, I mean the torso, your waist and all that, so that starts to build some integration. And you know, sequentially nothing really changes. It's the execution and the ability to pull all that together. And that varies tremendously among individuals. You know, some of it is you know, just the way you're wired. Some of it is what you perceive it to be, and some of it is that you might have habits that have to be modified because you've been doing certain things a certain way for a long time. So, but that all, you know, just part of, you know, development. You know, when I first started Kung Fu with my teacher, you know, I had a few teachers before him, but when I, you know, started with him, what do you think was the first thing he told me? No, that I'm really good. No, no. He told me, don't do that anymore. But not doing something that you've done for maybe already 10 or 12 years, it's not easy to just say, don't do that anymore. But I understood what he was saying, you know. So then it took me probably 10 years to give it up. But even stopping, my body already kind of was wired for that. And you know, some of the things that I did when I was young was I used to break stuff. Maybe that's part of being young, huh? You just break things. But I was, breaking, and conditioning, and I did the, iron palm stuff for a few years. Well, when I was old enough to do it. And so I used to break things, but then he said, you don't want to do that. Why do you want to do that? You're just going to deaden your nerves, and when you get to be old, you're going to be like this. So I took his advice, stopped breaking things, and my hands, I don't have any problems with my hands. It's a good thing I stopped that 40 years ago. But so martial arts training does have that kind of conditioning. It's not all bad. People used to do it mainly because they only lived to 40, one thing, and then it was rough out there. Who knows how many tigers would attack you during the day, right? But it was really, so that you toughen up. Karate does it. A lot of the disciplines that, the Makiwara board. Does everybody know what that is? It's a board, and they wrap rope around it, and you punch it. And why do you punch things and hit things that are harder than your bones? Because it helps you toughen it as far as your bones. And then when you hit things with your feet or your knuckles, you build calluses. So people that have that kind of training, you would look at their hands and they look kind of mangled, and they have all these calluses because your skin will develop a tougher layer and build. So even from, so you're using like pliers or something a lot, your hands develop these calluses. People got smarter and they start wearing gloves. The whole market of gloves came in, so you can do that. But anyways, that's why I just want to bring some of that up. So you realize that we do develop habits from doing it over and over again. Not all habits are good. We try to develop good habits, moving in a certain way. So that's we call the naturalness of motion. It happens more with the softer systems to try to approach that naturalness. With the harder systems, it's hard to avoid putting a lot of power into it, because that's what people see and that's what they want. But true power is not necessarily a physical, muscular strength power. It comes from execution, and if you think about when your limbs move the fastest, it's when there's no conflict in motion. So it moves the fastest, not on the physical contraction, but the physical relaxation. When your body can move, like that's what Fa Jing is. It's just totally relaxed, and all of a sudden it's there. So it's how you recruit the energy and the motion to create that end movement, and it is a relaxed movement and explosive. That's why we call it explosive power. But it's called Bao Jia Ging. Jing is that Bao Jia is explosive. And what's explosive mean? It just means it's volatile. It happens suddenly, and it's gone. So, all right, let's try Fu Hok. So Fu Hok is our signature form. It's something that represents our style. There's Hung Gar. There's many styles of Hung Gar. We're the Lam family lineage, but the Lam family lineage is specifically the Fu Hok Pai, the tiger crane style. Even though everybody does tiger crane, the insignia on the shirt, that diamond, is really tiger and crane, Fu Hok, and it's really a logo that we picked up. All the Hung Gar people that's on the Lam family uses this diamond. We have the big insignia like this because we're Fu Hok Tai Him One, with the three styles embedded into this. So we can talk a little more about that some other time. But anyways, all right, ready? Okay. Salute. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn. Push. Strength in the forward direction and the back, but not stiff strength, live strength. Okay, deep breathing. So, 8/8, that we have our mini open house. So this is one of the forms we'll do as a group form, Fu Hak. So it's something to work together with in the classes and try to. We're not having rehearsals unless we need it. So Fu Hak is one. The water form is one.
You want to do maybe
42 move. What's that?
do you want us to practice a short Fu Hak or the full thing?
We'll do the full thing.
You want to do the full thing?
Yeah, only because we're not going to have a lot of different performances. That's why it's called the mini. No, mainly because we don't have all the kids that were doing it in the past. And so a couple of things that we'll probably do: the water form, 42 movement Tai Chi. Do you still remember it? 42? Wednesday night. David just learned it. So that's a group form. That's just one of the modern forms that's we've taken on over the last 25 years. So that's one thing. We just wanted to show the 3 styles and some of the things that we've done, throughout the years. So it's just a signature of what we do. So it's, for those of you who don't know, it's the 25th anniversary of this academy here in this location. The 50th year of the system being in Boston since 1971. Actually, 1970 was when my teacher first came, but he taught at an athletic club that I invited him to teach at, and then he decided to branch out and do his own. So that was how that started, and then it's the 10th anniversary of Scholarship Foundation. So things, so it's kind of a special year, but after the pandemic, it's just, I figured mainly will be people that have came back after the pandemic, and any, people that have actually not come in since the pandemic might come in just for that day. Between 2 and 5, we'll have the performance around 4, and then between 2 and 5, just drop in if you want. If you don't have to, if people don't have the whole day, they can just come and drop in. We'll have some wine and cheese maybe, right, Sonny? We can't charge for the liquor because, but donations are accepted, and that goes purely to the Scholarship Foundation. So, other than that, if you have any questions, then there's the little dinner that's afterwards, and that's going to be small. It's a sign-up basis, so we can, we're going to have a few tables set up, and the food on the picture that's on the might not look like that, but yeah. So, all right. So let's try that again, and then we'll go do the 5 images. All right, ready? Try to stay together. Okay, begin. Hup. doing his solo private lesson himself. Okay, deep breathing. So when we do our sun punch in this frontal direction, you should be an offset horse. So if this toe is here, the heel should be on the other side of that blue line. Okay, so that's what you have to find. So if you turn, that's taking you to the other side. So we have a few of those in this form. In 10 images, we have a bunch of those. But the thing is, you know, when we're here and we sweep, right, and push, you have to adjust this foot enough. And so that's something that you would have to practice to make sure your feet are in the right place. When say we would cross step this way, you don't want to cross here. Then when you spin, you're in the wrong offset stance. So the only way to get into the correct stance is when you cross, the heel and the ball of that foot are in the same line. So when you pivot, you're going to be, and when you pivot, it has to be toe heel. So a toe heel is, you know, just like in Lau Gar Kuen, when we're here, you have to be offset like this, because if your foot ends up here and you're trying to create the movement, you're already in an off position. You don't have the support in your position. So when you cross and spin and you're in the offset, it's really something that you practice, and then you have much more control. So we just did this like this and spin, cross and spin. You could see how you end up in the offset stance. So it's a toe heel rotation. Yeah, you see? So Lau Gar has that when you do the cross stamp. And anytime you're going to spin into, all it is reversing directions, but you have to reverse and then end up in this stance. So if you were here, then when you're here and you turn, you see, if you're in this position 45 and you sit back, if you turn this way, this foot might have to adjust a little bit to find that line, depending on, you know, how big your feet are and all that. But so that's that's footwork. You know, we have 5 coordinations: hand, eye, body, waist, and stance. Right. So the stance work is not just the shape of the stance; It's transition, the footwork. It's really the ma bu. The footwork really is that knowing this stance. When we're here and we cross behind, we have to know the spin, and then you end up in a. So all of that is a function of practice, and then it becomes natural. It automatically knows how to transfer the pivotal positioning. So let's see. Let's do this. 1. Now we drop the hand. Then this hand's going to turn like this, right? And then this hand's going to follow and cover. Right. Then we're going to adjust this foot, and then we're going to spin like that. So now you're in offset with this foot a little bit forward. So that's where those little adjustments are. Okay. So here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll try it again. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Again. Ready? 1, 2. So try to fix this. This foot should be up a little bit. Yeah. So that way you can turn this way. This is here, and then this is rounded like this. So this is like this. But don't. It's just there. Right. Okay. Round that out a little bit low, so you're here, right? And then turn your waist a little bit, yeah, like that. You know, everything is a reference point to your body, right? Yeah, so this foot can turn a little bit to here, just the toe, just the toe, and that foot goes back more, a little bit, not too much, half that, yeah. So that's what you're looking for. All postures are a target position, right? Yeah. So how's the music? No, you can't hear me. Okay. Oh. Okay, and then here. So what happens when you do that? You're here, then when you do this, you leave your body, right, then you're going to unwind it, open the stance, and then pivot on the heel of the back foot. Okay.
So you're leaning forward a little bit? Because I think I'm a little too erect.
No, you're leaning forward, but then you settle into your stance, so then you have the erect body, upper body. You don't lean here. You lean this way, lean, but then when you're here, you have to settle here, like this. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah. We corrected that 3 years ago, remember?
Yeah, but doesn't mean that I do it all the time, right? Yeah, check.
Okay, yeah, okay.
When you turn your toes after you shift it and you start punching, or is it happening simultaneously?
It happens as a result of the fact that my hand is going to end up here. So this will finish when this finishes. But this really that's the way you turn, because you don't want to do this. That's actually a fault. So because the force is coming into that. So the force from here, and this has to turn together. But then this leg becomes your root. So if you go like this, then you're going to be unstable, because you have the weight in the wrong place. But when you transition like this, then your spine goes here. This foot is part of that action. And then this goes to vertical as a sinking of the elbow. Right? So there's sinking that was just a passive action. That becomes the physical action, focusing on this, but the transition is coming from here. See? Yeah. So, you know, that's what we're. Do it one more. A little more. If you can relax the hip a little, can you turn? Turn, yeah. And then leave this like this, and then this can be here. So this is the vertical. Yeah. Oh, so no, a little bit. Leave a gap here, a little more. Yeah. That gap. So the gap looks for vertical here. And this is so coincidentally just in front of here, right? So it's not really by coincidence because this is what we learned, right? The first time you do a middle block, isn't it here? It's not out there. If you learn it out there, when we do this, it's going to be like this. Right? So we don't have that one for this one. So that's what muscle memory is. Yeah. So. Turn. Try to heel on the back foot. Heel. Yeah. So you got that? Everybody have that? It just takes a little practice. But if you understand it, then when you practice it, you'll actually try to modify it so that it's more, following the principle that we. Yeah, it's good. 1, 2. Okay, do it again. 1, 2. Just so that foot had to go over that way a little.
So is there an adjustment?
No.
So my feet should be here.
No, you can adjust, but the adjustment isn't, it happens because you shifted your weight. And then it goes across. No, by itself. See you're here. 1. So your body finds that position because this, actually, if you just do this and it's over here, it shouldn't feel right.
Yes.
But the reason why you can't tell that it doesn't feel right is because you don't know what should be right. But yeah. So what the body doesn't know, it doesn't know. You can't modify unless you kind of, bring the level of understanding of consciousness to that motion. So that's what these mind-body exercises work toward, right? It's not. It's like that. Yeah. So it shouldn't be like this, because once you extend it, it becomes rigid. Then you're gonna. That's really a weak position. So you have to compromise the position, and then when you're in the stance here, your body. If you're like this, then you're already falling backwards. If you're leaning like this, then if you miss, you're going to fall over. So you got to find the balance point between here and there. So but because this kind of strength isn't stiff, on impact, it's gone. If you have latent energy in the same movement, then you're going to be rigid. And once you're rigid, all you do is have to hit something, and you're going to be falling off the ladder. That's kind of like what it is. But if you're soft, then it gets absorbed. So when you're in this position, you're like this. You're like that. You don't really, so you try to control it.
Solar plex too. He's got right the solar plex. You can see it.
Okay. All right. Let's try 5 images. If you know it, if you don't, you can work on Fu Hawk a little bit. So Stephen, want to come up here? The 5 images. 5 images. Good. Okay. All right. Ready? Eyes staring straight ahead. Ready? Begin. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Down, thrust, close. Open your stance, 3 pivots. Tick. Hit. Hee. Hit. Za. hit, he, hit, za. Just like full hawk, right in the center. Good. Keep going. Pull this, roll this shoulder forward. Right through the center. Tick. Hit. He. Hit. Za. Step kick. Cut, leopard. Then it's the 10 tigers again. Okay, deep breathing. So David, you know the 5 images just, yeah, okay, so we can go over that, the leopard part of it. So after we're here, just like in Fu Hawk, we're here. We step back. Now you have your leopard pause, and you're gonna shift, step back. This hand comes here, and then this hand comes out as you open the stance. Now this is a short, so this is the same as this, except for your wrist is like this. So you're here. The hand does this. You know, Chun Kyo, you would do this, then you step back and do this. Right? That's the typical setup. In this, what we do, we shift the weight wipe across this way, and then spread the hands like this. This is called mu pon. It's like a, mortise and pestle when you take that thing and you go and you grind up thing, and you're doing this, or churning, like grinding, like you're doing this. So your hand is creating that circle. So the hand is like this. So we're here, 1, 2. Now this hand makes a small circle on the center line. And then when you step out, you see how my hand and the feet is turning out? Then you step through and you strike like this. Then you shift your weight back. Then you lift this knee and you come up like this. Then you step down and chop bu. That's cross behind. Then you unwind the stance. Make sure you're in an offset here. Back fist. Then this hand's going to open, turn out, and this is a hook, sao jui. And then sink and lift. So that's the same movement on both sides. So we did it toward the middle. You could see that once we're here and we step back and we open. So see, this becomes, well, you just would do a hand movement like this, but we have to turn out. Turn, that clears the passage for you to come through. Now you see the hand is like this, but then you have to pull this hand to here. Okay, now we shift back, right? And then we're gonna bring this hand just like in Bangbu Kun, you're like that, right? But this is a leopard on the lower hand. Step down, keep the weight here so that we can push into this leg. And then that's inverted. Then we spin out, and then back fist, track that movement in the same direction and catch it here. And then lift and sink and lift. Then on this side, because it's already here, you just turn. Then you step through 1. So this is a little tricky because the body has to be involved with the movement. Then you step up. Then you shift, balance here, lift, step down, turn, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So this is just the same on both sides. When you get the 10 images, that's the leopard. So, in the 5 images, you have the tiger, the crane, the snake, the leopard, and the dragon. Those are 5 animals. So, let me try it again. No, this becomes a fist, regular fist, then you're here, then you lift. So, yeah, so face that way, then use the mirror so you can all stay together. So you're here, right? We just came back, and then you throw the leopard, then you step 1, 2, 3, 4, right? This is at the waist. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. From here. 1. Step through 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Oh, the other way. This hand other way. Yeah. And then when you let go, yeah. Then when you let go, release the thumb. Take the thumb, put it on this side, and then do this, and then lift. So that technique is really, when someone grabs your wrist, you're doing this. When this hand is here, you're just pressing into that joint.
Can we walk through that again from that turn angle?
Yeah, like that, yeah. Okay, ready? Leopard. Shift. 1, 2. So don't have to reach out and sink. Just keep it bent like this. And then we come, here's your center. You're going to come down. Here's your cutting hand. And then you're here. You shift, turn to 45 degrees, cut. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sink, lift. There's your leaning. Right from there, make your leopard and spin so the hand movement becomes the function of your waist. So not so you notice what I'm saying? When you're here, from here, leave your back twisted. Your back is like a spring, and then you unwind. So when you unwind, you sink your elbow. Yeah. Yeah. You relax this elbow here. Yeah, like that. So 1, 2, 3. Ready? And then step through 1, 2. Step. Lift. Knee up. So when you're here, right, when you shift, this hand only needs to go to 45, and the body comes over here. Then when I come up, I turn. So this becomes, so this is where the body and the upper lower coordination comes. And the imagery that you create in that position, you're here, becomes this. Now because I'm back in this direction, I can face that way and then come into that line. So your eyes should track and gaze in the direction. Fold the elbow to here. Yeah. So just remember, cutting hand is a folded elbow, right? So when you cut, the hand goes like this. So the two-dimensional motion, well, we have the cross hand, then it goes like this, starts to open, and then you pull the elbows back. If you go like this with just the hand, your elbow might not be correct in the motion. But once the hand is here and you hook, like if I take Sonny's hand and I hook, then I just have to do this. Now, if I do this and I sink my elbow and pull back, if I practice correctly, then my body is going to come forward, right? So if I'm here, then I'm like this, and then it's going to come in. See, once I'm here, it's open, and then it comes in like this, but I cross. You see, so you lift, then you step down. So, but that's the basic way of doing the movement. But when you're doing the movement and it's faster, then when you step, you see I did a double step there because I'm in motion, right? If you want to reach your opponent, you have to take this step plus that little bit of a minute shift gives you agility of footwork. But it's really transition and weight. So footwork is all about moving your weight, your center. So go do that again. So that's the only thing you did this part in the form, this section. So that's the next piece. So once you're here, the form would be, we'll all do this. So then it goes this way. And then you step back, 1, 2, and then we're here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here, adjust the back foot, turn. Step up, shift, lift, down, chop, turn, quadrille. Now here, shift, then we just goes right into full hawk. Okay. Now if you're doing 10 images, after those movements, the first series of movement is the tigers, right? So you have 2 black tigers and then the 10 tigers. So, I mean, you want to go through just with the group? After we get back to, where are we? We just finished, yeah, the leopard. Yeah, so let's do the big first, right? So you cross over, you big, see how she crossed, right? Big, right? So you're here, big, you go 45 degrees, cover black tiger, and then you shift your weight, and here, your body's gonna do this. Black tiger, sorry. And then you go to the 10 tigers. So there's only the 2 black tigers in the beginning to initiate it. So let's try that just the black tiger. You can try it too. Yeah. So we're right in the position, ready? 1, sink and pick. 2, cover, black tiger. Okay, and then now because this is out here, you have to kind of relax the shoulder and then come back in again. Ready? 1, yeah. So once we're here, just leave it here, like this. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Then the next one, 1. Then you just step up, double tiger, stomp and single tiger. And then you continue. 10 tigers out of 10 tigers, and these 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then you stomp, double step, stomp, double step, and then close. 1, 2. Yeah, then you would turn to this position. So here's that hold the ball position, which normally you would in Fuhak would be like this, but you're in a suspended position. And with the hands on top like this, you just do this continuously as you turn. 1, 2, 3, right? And then you do a leopard.
Is his hand moving the leg around, the lower body around?
Yeah, if you can, it's actually a torso is turning, but as the hand comes around, you're gonna spin, spin, spin. So you can do 3 or 4 times, but if you're gonna do it as a group sequence, you wanna kind of sync up a little. So you can do it, each quadrant you can do one, you know. So you would do it 4 times, right? So when you're here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're back to here. And that's just what we just did, that library, that series there. But the coordination for that pivoting takes a little practice because it's kind of the most different movement that you learn. So this is the leopard, so this becomes a motion. So how do you get around? It's because that synchronization allows the body to become tracking. This is your pivotal foot, and you rotate around that. So when you're turning, your foot becomes that pivot. So you see, your legs have to relax to accommodate the movement. Otherwise, if you don't relax the leg, then that foot is going to be stuck out there and it's not really working. So you have to sink. You sink, you sink, you sink. So each time your knee builds that, right? You know, the whole premise of all of this, you know, center of mass stuff is really how does your body recognize your body in space? You know, proprioception that we have really is a sensory part of our makeup that really allows us to do these things. The average person would probably never be doing something like that, but you can imagine because you have developed that part of the skill, it's actually up in here, and the body becomes more intelligent. So body intelligence is what, you know, we need to survive and to be, you know, to have somewhat of a quality of life as you get older, and you realize how important these kind of things are, you know, as a motor skill. And that control of your body, really, this foot really has very little weight, but it is driving. So your whole body is moving like it's a machine, right? Synchronization, like a transmission in your car. The gears are all synchronized and it moves at a certain. The faster you go, just the speed of movement, that's all. But the integration is the same. So you start off slowly and then you build it. And then once you have the coordination, then you can go as fast as you can. So learning slowly is helpful. You know, like whatever movement you learn, don't try to do the end movement the way you saw it. Try to build toward that end movement. Otherwise you get confused. And you might get to the end movement, but there's going to be some stuff missing in between. And that's, you know, maybe pieces of the body that's actually not working with it. And that's, so then you have to fill in those blanks. So a lot of times people rush through things and then you have to go back and relearn it and then, you know, just fill it in.
So you were saying earlier, where you had to point the wrist, elbow.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is my flat wrist, this is my bent wrist. But when I bend my wrist, I bend my elbow. And your bridge is this. So if you look at your hands in a cross arm position, and you go to a vertical position, you cross again, and I turn it out like this. What is the primary part of the motion that's blocking? It's your forearm. So whether you chun kyo or you use a leopard, depending on, that's middle gate. Lower gate is here, upper gate is here, or shoulder and then height, right? But this is key, your bridge. Your forearm is your bridge. But your forearm isn't a bridge unless it's connected to your upper arm. And that's tied to your shoulder. The shoulder is tied to your torso. So unless you move your whole body, the hand movements are broken. Broken movement is isolated. And isolated movements are actually not very efficient. And, you know, but most people are pretty isolated because that's how we do things. You sit there most of the day and you're moving your arms, whatever you're doing there. But the torso is kind of there, but it's not really integrated. You don't need to turn your waist, you know, to right because it's small motor skill. But the thing is, if you had to use your waist, it's going to get bigger. So if you're doing, you know, murals or something like that, then the body comes into play because you're painting big things. So essentially, what we're doing in space is really patterns. And, you know, all these patterns are part of that image. And the size of that image is reference to your body. That's why we use the high, the middle, the low, because, you know, on that side of it, the functionality of movement has to do with what are you going to do in this area? What are you going to do in this area? What are you going to do in this area? So it has to be compatible. So that's an understanding that, you know, as a martial artist, that's what you would want to know. But as a teacher, you can define it much more accurately if you have that. The geometry of position, space, and reference. You know, that's just sort of it's a concept, but we do a lot of things like that. We reference whatever it is. What do you reference? A standard. Once you have a standard, then you veer off of that and you know what the variance will be. But without a standard, it's just all over the place. So, you want to go through the whole sequence, 5 images again, or just the leopard part of it with the opening? David disappeared, so it's okay. Hey, David, you want to do 5 images? Irene's going to take you through it. Just up to the first half. Yeah, don't do the full hawk side. And then you do 10-minute images too, right? But yeah, but that was the what we just did was the first 2 postures. Yeah. Okay, you can run through that and then